Hello, Divine Collective. Today, I want to talk about protecting your peace, protecting your energy, protecting your body, your mind, your soul, because this is extremely important for anybody, whether you are on a spiritual journey or you're not on a spiritual journey, okay? You got to be able to have the discernment to be able to figure out who do I not need to be around. And also, the biggest thing is trusting your intuition because most times but a lot of times we don't want to believe it, or we don't want to actually do it because we care about this person, we love this person, we want the best for this person, you know what I mean? But it should never be at the sake of yourself. It should never be at the sake of your mental health, your well-being, your financial state. At the end of the day, you always have to put yourself first, and not in the sense of where you need to be selfish. Like, you can put yourself first without putting somebody else down. You can put yourself first without putting yourself down. You know what I mean? Like, you can always put yourself first in a positive way. Putting yourself first doesn't mean you have to be selfish, or, you know what I mean? That's not what it means. That's constructs, okay? Release that construct of you pouring into yourself or giving to yourself is selfish. It is not selfish, okay? How can you give to somebody else if you have nothing to give? How can you love somebody if you don't love yourself? Okay, RuPaul? Okay? That applies, okay? It's not you being selfish. It's not you putting, other people down or not being there for other people. At the end of the day, who's going to be there for you? So if you're always there for other people, you have to pour into yourself, because yes, you may be a vessel, you may be somebody that's here to help other people, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. And every single time, because I pray every single day when I pray, I ask God to fill my cup, right? Either he fills my cup or you allow me to find ways in order to fill my cup, because I cannot and will not work from an empty cup. Okay, I can't pour my last little bit, because I need that last little bit to help me rejuvenate the rest of myself. You know what I mean? So protecting your energy is very important. Now, how to protect your energy, right? Protecting your energy means that you don't have to go every place that you're invited to. You don't have to hang out with a person that really wants to hang out with you or really wants to see you. At the end of the day, you can do what you want to do, and don't even feel bad about not seeing this person or not hanging out with this person because, oh, they really want to be around you. Yeah, that's probably because you're a good person. You know what I mean? Just because you're a good person doesn't mean every person has to have access to you. It doesn't mean that you're meant to help and save everybody. At the end of the day, you saved yourself. You're here today watching this video right now because you want to work on yourself and you want to continue to grow as a person, as a soul, as a human being. You know what I mean? You want to expand. I don't see them watching it. Or maybe they are, you know what I mean? But if they're not working on themselves or trying to grow themselves the same way that you are, they don't have to have your energy. They don't have to have access to you unless it's your kids. You know what I mean? That's different. At the end of the day, they're in a different place in their journey in life, okay? But outside of that, people that are a choice to have around, like friends, even family is a choice too as well. If family are talking down on you, they don't believe in your dreams, they don't believe what you have going on, leave them alone. Leave them alone. And that brings me to the next thing of why it's so important to protect your energy, because at the end of the day, if you allow other people's words to dictate your feelings, emotions, and then eventually your actions, then that can block you from what you're supposed to be doing. You may have a calling to be doing something or to helping somebody, or, you know what I mean, helping a collective or group of people. But if somebody else doesn't see your vision, you tell them their idea and then they knock it down, and then you're like, I don't know if I should do this anymore, and then those group of people that were meant to get your help and get your assistance cannot get that help and cannot get that assistance at that time. That's why it's so important, because everything is bigger than us. Okay, everything is bigger than us. And at the end of the day, if you are here right now watching this video, then obviously you recognize that, you know that, and that you know that everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Okay, everything is spiritual. Regardless of what you believe, everything is spiritual. So it's important to take things that way too as well. Okay, and a lot of times when you are trying to change your mindset, change your life, and you're trying to attract a better life and work on yourself, there will be people that come along to try to test you to see if you are making that growth, testing you to see if this is something that you're actually going to do and you're going to follow through with and stick with. You know what I mean? And most times they don't even know that they're acting as a vessel, as a lesson, you know? So that's why, honestly, I don't even be taking things personally, because I don't know what you think about. I don't know what you dream about. I don't know what you do in your private time. So I'm not here to judge anybody else. Okay. But at the end of the day, I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, my peace, my well being, so I can continue to give back to people. That's simple. right? And a lot of times your intuition will tell you, okay, no. Something may pop in your head like, is this person trying to play me? Is this person trying to, you know what I mean? And a lot of times people don't understand how magnetic you are. Come in.
See you later.
See you later. Have a good day at work.
Thank you.
But yes, a lot of times people don't know how magnetic you are, or you don't even know how magnetic you are. But a lot of times I tell people all the time, like, moths are not attracted to the darkness, they're attracted to the light. Okay, so yes, you may have people that come around you, especially when you're trying to elevate your consciousness and your mind and your mindset in your life. They may try to come around because they're jealous, or they want to know, how is she doing this, how's she doing that, you know what I mean? But it's great to have that discernment and trust your intuition to know, like, hey, like, I don't need to tell you this. Yes, I may tell this person and this person this, but I feel like I can't tell you my dreams. I can't tell you my plans because I feel like A, you're going to try to pick it apart. B, you're going to try to take it. Or 3, you're going to try to deteriorate me from doing what I feel and what I know I'm supposed to do. Okay? And that is very important, having your discernment, trusting your intuition, and at the end of the day, standing on business. Okay, you got to stand on business. Okay, because a lot of times people, because even in my journey, right, I don't know that many spiritual people, right? So a lot of times when I try to talk to my family or my friends about my mindset and what I'm thinking, it's like they don't get it, you know, and that's okay. At the end of the day, I'm not mad. And there are different steps of a spiritual journey, right? And in the beginning stages of your spiritual journey, you're trying to wake everybody up. You're mad at the world because the world is a sad and scary and unhappy place and a dark place, you know what I mean? So you're trying to wake up your whole family, your friends and stuff like that, but then it don't work. It does not work, you know. And then you get to a point in your journey where it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to sit here and explain myself to anybody. I'm just going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And those that will listen, and those that want to change, and those that want to grow will listen. And this is why I made this YouTube. So 1, I want to thank you for being here. 2, I want to thank you for pouring into yourself. And 3, I want to say I'm proud of you because you're doing something that 99.9% of the people don't do. You know what I mean? They're so caught up in what people call the matrix, but they're so caught up in the daily lives, the daily routine, that they can't even be present, that they can't even try to work on themselves because they're so busy trying to worry about these exterior things that are going on. But you're managing it, you're doing it, you're putting in that time. So Kayla's proud of you, and definitely want to make sure that you watch the other videos too as well, because you deserve to have the life that you deserve. Okay, and we're doing it together. Okay, I'm aligning to the life that I truly deserve. I am aligned to the life that I truly deserve. I'm just getting the things now. Things are starting to come in and things are starting to flow. And I know that it's going to work out. You have to know. And I'm pretty sure I made a video on the power of knowing. If I haven't, maybe that's the next one I make. But you have to know. Nobody can tell you. Somebody could sit here. My mama could be like, Kayla, no, you can't be a life coach. You can't be a YouTube. You can't do this. You can't do that. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do because I know. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to protect your energy, especially until you get into a place of knowing who you are, knowing what you're supposed to be doing, knowing your purpose here, right? You may not even have a clear-cut purpose, but you know that, hey, I'm supposed to be helping people. You know what I mean? And as time goes on, as you continue to work on yourself, you'll get that specific group. You'll get where you need to do it at. You know what I mean? Throughout time, and without you, or with you choosing yourself, that will continue to show. Your path will continue to reveal itself to you. So trust the process and know that it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Okay? You deserve it. Okay? So, Divine Collective, I'll see y'all later, and bye.